You're watching Coast Life, and maybe you're getting ready to make a big move. You probably have a lot of questions about what you should be doing inside the home and maybe even outside the home to get ready for that move. Well, who better to tell us what you should and shouldn't be doing than Dustin and Rachel Parker with the Parker Group. You guys are such pros in the real estate industry and so knowledgeable. And what I love that you guys do is you share that knowledge, I mean, pretty openly, freely with everybody and especially your team. So when people are getting ready to make that move, what are maybe some of the renovation projects they should be looking at doing before they sell?
So in terms of the do's, we always say you're really going to get a good bang for your buck for touching up the paint in your house. Going around, if it doesn't have to change the color unless if your color is just outlandish and it's very specific to you. But just making it look fresh. Same thing with flooring and carpeting. You want basically the condition of the home to feel as close to new as possible. So those are really good tips. And then on the outside of the home, my favorite tip is getting the home power washed. It really makes a huge difference, and it's not as expensive as maybe like replacing your siding or repainting. But again, it just kind of freshens up the exterior. So those are my top things that I think are worth doing.
Yeah, for sure. Then, of course, there are always going to be some projects, like you said, that maybe people get really invested in or worried about, or maybe they shouldn't be worrying about those things. What are the maybe projects that you don't need to touch or worry about when it comes to getting ready to sell?
Yeah, so many people come to us and think that they need to pull out the cabinets in their kitchen and get new countertops and things. And depending on the era that the house was first built or renovated last, sometimes that is necessary. You know, if it's still got the 70s swag to it, maybe it is time to do that. But oftentimes, you know, you can, if the kitchen does need a little bit of a freshen up, you can paint the cabinets, you know, which is much easier than replacing them and getting new cabinets. Countertops can be switched out pretty easily, but we don't typically recommend, again, unless the house is completely in a different era, to spend a significant amount of money doing that. We are still in a market right now where inventory is tremendously low, and so it's not like you're competing against thousands and thousands of homes on the market. And so as long as you present your house in the best light that it can be, it will likely sell. And one thing I think people often don't think necessarily about sometimes if they are just focused on the cosmetics is when a potential buyer is walking through the home, they want to make sure that the home feels like there's no major issues with it. And so if there was an old leak maybe that you had repaired 3 or 4 years ago, but there's still a stain on the ceiling from it, you want to make sure that that's addressed. If there was a hole in the wall from a kid or something, of course, address those types of things too. It's okay that the home maybe isn't as cosmetically the taste that the buyer may have, but they just want to feel like they're getting a good home, a safe investment, something that's not going to fall down or have major issues behind the walls that are uncovered, essentially.
Yeah, and a good real estate agent's going to give you advice tailored to your specific situation, what kind of price you're looking for and all of that. But if you're like in the holiday season and you're thinking, hey, I might be listing in the spring and you want to figure out what to invest in, that would kind of be our advice is do the simple stuff that makes your home look like it's in pristine condition. Yeah,
awesome. Well, you guys really are the experts, and like you said, if you've got a good real estate agent, they're going to walk you through all those things, and anybody, any member of the Parker Group is going to be that real estate agent for you. Well, thank you guys again for sharing so many tips. I know we have you in here so often, and I feel like, oh my gosh, we're going to run out of things to learn, but we're never going to run out of things to learn with you guys. Well, thanks for coming in once again, but don't go anywhere because we do have some more Coast Life coming your way.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by the Parker Group.